Hi, my name is Julie Campbell, and this is my persuasive speech. This is my audience, my mom, and my cousin Sis. Did you know that over 90% of parents and families of deaf and hard of hearing children never learn American Sign Language? The American Society for Deaf Children says this is the single most important decision that will have a huge impact on the rest of their child's life. Hi, my name is Julie Campbell. I became hard of hearing around age 2, and my parents were faced with a similar situation. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, why should I even care about this? I'm hearing, my family is hearing, and I don't know anyone that's deaf or hard of hearing. The truth is, you'll never know when you'll meet a person who's deaf or hard of hearing. The CDC's Hearing Screening and Follow-Up Survey from 2017 found that almost 2 babies per 1,000 screened had significant hearing loss in one or both ears. This could be your child. Parents of deaf or hard of hearing children should choose a cultural solution to the problem of childhood hearing loss. First, let's take a look at the problem of childhood hearing loss. If left untreated, hearing loss in children can have both physical and emotional consequences. Children with hearing loss are forced to rely on what they can hear. Many parents are afraid for their child's safety and restrict the physical space to one that is safe. A great example of this is when the child is playing in the front yard and the parents are afraid that the child will be hit by a car because they don't hear it. Instead, they move the child to the backyard that is fenced in where they can keep an eye on them. In their book, Language Deprivation and Mental Health, Glickman and Hall examine the emotional consequences of children with hearing loss. If not given access to a language, children with hearing loss become lonely, depressed, and act out to try to express themselves. Unable to communicate in a meaningful way, they are not able to sustain social or emotional relationships. The question you should ask yourself is this what you would want for your child? Now that we know what the problem is, let's take a look at 2 different solutions. Solutions for hearing loss are both medical and cultural. Medical solutions for hearing loss include the use of assistive devices like cochlear implants and hearing aids. Both of these are expensive and need to be maintained and cleaned regularly. Assistive devices can fail, be lost, or be out of batteries. This leaves the child alone and unable to communicate. Think about the last time the battery on your phone died and you weren't able to charge it right away. How did that make you feel? The cultural solution to hearing loss involves the parents and family learning ASL with the child. In the article, Support for Parents of Deaf Children, Common Questions and Informed Evidence-Based Answers, Tom Humphreys et al. Says that no parent of a prelingually deaf child should rely on CI alone for first language acquisition. Instead, parents and professionals should immediately expose the child to a sign language. There are several ways for the family and child to learn ASL. They can enroll in ASL classes, seek out the local deaf community, or be paired up with a deaf mentor. Deaf mentors can do all of these and can also find ASL resources for the family, like Schools for the Deaf, summer camps, and sites like the Deaf Professional Arts Network, which has accessible programming using ASL for music videos and national events. We have a deaf mentorship program here in Lake County, Indiana, but it is very limited. Now let's take a look at 2 different scenarios. One where the hearing loss is left untreated, and one where both of the solutions work together. Let's imagine something we are all familiar with and do almost every day, sitting down for a family dinner. Imagine a child without language, a child not unlike Helen Keller. The family is sitting around the dining room table. Food is out and everyone has some. The child doesn't know what they're having. Concepts like chicken and vegetables mean nothing. Everyone at the dinner table starts to talk and the child gets bored. This escalates into tantrums, tears, and disrupts the entire family dinner. In the article Dinner Dialogues Build Language in Endeavor magazine, David Meek says that communication among family members should be open and equal where everyone participates. Let's imagine that same family dinner with a child that has hearing aids and uses American Sign Language. The family is sitting around the dining room table with food on their plates. Someone asks the child a question, and realizing that the child didn't hear them, the person sitting next to the child taps them on the arm and signs the question. The child answers and signs a question in response. This is a much more pleasant family situation. There are no tantrums, no tears, and everyone works together to facilitate communication. In conclusion, today we've talked about the problem of childhood hearing loss, both medical and cultural solutions, and the difference a deaf mentor can make for a family and child with hearing loss. I want you to help me raise awareness that a deaf mentorship program in Lake County exists, is available to all children and families with hearing loss, and needs to be expanded. You can do this now by signing my petition at www.bethechange.org. If you still have questions or are curious about deaf mentors, please see my poster on the benefits of deaf mentorship and ASL. The American Society for Deaf Children says it best. The bottom line is that if hearing parents invest in learning and using ASL, they can provide a solid foundation for their child to learn, thrive, and succeed.